Well, the hope was that these Florida showers would have passed through by now, but it looks like we're in for a wet one tonight at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. Tonight, Week 15 begins with a great Thursday night matchup, as it'll be the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. About set to begin another week of football, and happy to have you along. We are underway on Thursday night primetime. And able to get this out to the 25. They'll start on the ground with Irving. And he's upended at the 33, following a good pickup of 8. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
This pass going to be caught by Hardman. And he'll go out of bounds, it looks like, right at the 40. 7 yards there and a first down. The Buccaneers had 10-3 on the year. And they've been playing their best football of the year. Winners of 4 in a row.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Seattle.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And he's going to hook up with his big tight end, complete. That goes for a gain of 31.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
Quick hitter here, it's complete. It'll go as a gain of 4, and it'll be second down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that, because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for? It's who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night. Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's third down.
180.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
First and goal at the 2-yard line.
Irving is going backwards as he'll be tackled back at the 4-yard line. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down.
Brings up second and goal at the 4-yard line.
They'll try again. Well, this time they'll get down close to the goal line, but not quite in as he stopped at the 1-yard line. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal. They'll run with Irving. And he's in. Touchdown, Buccaneers. Bucky Irving, his 16th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bucs will claim the early lead as they're on the board first here tonight. The point after through the raindrops up and good. And that makes the score 7-0.
Falcons, nothing. Chase McLaughlin, the kickoff for the Buccaneers.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
Looking to put a drive together. A run for the first time with Bijan Robinson. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. You look at this defense for Tampa Bay. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
And the focus now is making sure that they're hitting on all cylinders as they head into the playoffs. And that means they've got to stop the run better. Because playoff football often means running football. So they've got to be prepared for that.
A complete to Drake London. And he makes it all the way down to the 19. It's a big play there for Atlanta. 46 yards.
They made that way too easy for them. No one is supposed to be that open against an NFL defense. Once he caught the ball, there wasn't anybody close enough to stop him. And he was able to continue downfield after making the catch.
Well, they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, second and 2. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Second and a couple. To the air, Penix. That ball is caught. It's London for the Atlanta touchdown. A great effort there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Falcons respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he won't quite make it to the 25. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
But ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
That ball nearly intercepted. The rookie had his hands on it but couldn't pull it in.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert! Hey, alert, alert! Alert, alert! What's up?
From the gun, Mayfield. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
And that is how you respond after taking one on the chin to begin this game. Give up a first drive touchdown, go back out on defense, and completely shut them down to force a 3-and-out.
Dixon, the punter, is on as he sends it away. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
At their own 26-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're riding a two-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much, don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best, and don't worry about the rest of it.
One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Penix working out of the gun here. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. 7-7, our score after one. Second quarter now, Falcon football, as they've got it facing a 2nd and long situation. They'll throw with Penix. And this one is incomplete.
He'll definitely say that that's one he should have held on to. But when you're playing in elements like this, sometimes those bullet passes, those ones with a little bit of pace on them, they can be difficult to hold on to.
Slot man moves right. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. On 4th down, Bradley Pinion on to punt for the Falcons. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Hardman on a return. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. Mayfield to throw it. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. That one good for 37 yards. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 43. Here's Mayfield. Oh, he's got Ibuka. That's complete. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Another 1st down there as this one goes for 25.
That's another Buccaneers 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line.
Baker going to give it to Irvin. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
He did have the touchdown run earlier, but not a heck of a lot more than that throughout this game.
No, not at all. In fact, I would say that this defense has done as good of a job on him as they have on any runner in recent memory.
Regular, 180.
They'll stay on the ground with Irvin. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 4 coming up.
It's now 3rd down and 4.
Point it right, point it right, point it right. 180! Cut!
Mayfield looks to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
Up. Run. Regular. Real. Alert.
Fourth down, Mayfield. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds.
Well, the feel that I get on this is that they felt like 3 was just not going to be enough after getting this deep into their territory.
And Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, but it didn't even look like they hesitated there. They knew they wanted to go for it.
That tells me that during the week, they were thinking about these things.
And he's into the end zone for a Tampa Bay touchdown. Bucky Irving, his 2nd touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Bucs have taken the lead. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And that makes the score 14-7.
Falcons 7.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. Well, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he'll weave all the way up to just a few yards shy of midfield. A great return.
At some point, we're going to get it through our heads. Special teams. The spark that often wins games.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. After that last score we just saw, now 14-7, so a chance to march down the field here, try to tie this football game. Very good starting field position for the Falcons offense as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Here's Penix. This pass is caught by London. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
First and 10 at the 31-yard line.
They'll go play action here with Penix. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. Another first down, this time on a gain of 19.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
A play fake. Now Penix. That's out wide here for Robinson. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Bijan Robinson. A 12-yard touchdown grab. And the Falcons are an extra point away from evening this one up. Gonzalez able to tack on to PAT. And we are tied at 14. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24.
The Bucs take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And this late season game, of course, not lacking for drama when you talk about the AFC playoff picture.
Yeah, in a sense, it's the haves versus the have-nots, because this group on offense, they'd be a wild card if the postseason started today, but they know the guys on the other side of the ball are still in that dreaded in-the-hunt category, and they're hungry for a win today.
2nd and 6.
Hey, alert, 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 180.
Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game. Now a 2nd and 6. Once again, it's Irvin. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. They need 2. Here's 3rd down.
He's a gain of 4. Makes it 3rd and 2.
Point it right, point it right, point it right.
Throwing, Mayfield. Looking for Evans, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And the Falcons will take over here as they get it up to the 43-yard line.
Boy, Brandon, that's what I'd call an ill-advised pass right there on 3rd down. I mean, you just need a yard or 2 to keep the drive going. Instead, he's trying to hit a home run. You've got to really like your chances if you're going to take a shot like that.
And looking to throw, Penix. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Part of what we're seeing so far as a defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Looking to throw, Penix. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Now Penix. He'll try and do this himself. Now throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Bucs are going to take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Picked off by Troy Anderson. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27.
Well, those have been a problem for him all season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
Let's go. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Now Penix going to hold on to it. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Well, they certainly knew their challenge as this series began, and they got to stop on play number 1. Goal now, get 2 more stops and limit the damage to a field goal.
Second and 10. Back to throw. He's got his man London right side. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a gain of 16, 1st down Falcons.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to pull his way down to about the 1-yard line. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in the first half of play. Keep in mind they can still get a first down here as they come up on 2nd and inches. Off play action. Here's Penix. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass.
This to Pitts, and he's got it. Touchdown, Atlanta. Kyle Pitts as the first half is winding down. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half. Gonzalez good on the extra point. And the lead is now 21-14. So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
26-yard line.
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
He's got a man, complete. Down the left sideline. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Mecole Hardman in the final seconds of the first half. And the Bucs have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And is going to tie our game as we approach halftime.
To kick off for the Buccaneers.
So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And that one going to hop into the end zone, and it'll come out to the 20.
20-yard line.
They'll throw now on the final play. And this one nearly intercepted. That one might need to go back to the drawing board. Almost a disaster. And it winds up just an incomplete pass, though. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return. About set to begin their next drive. The Falcons offense at the line. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us. Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there's not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
Now a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw here. That is incomplete.
Well, that's some good closing speed there defensively because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. And London, the motion man right. On third down, Penix from the gun. He's going to get that to his running back out of the backfield. And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball. They leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here we go. Set. 79 from Cougar 19.
Again, he'll drop to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number. Not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense has spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
Here's 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great play there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons come right out of the locker room and score here in the opening minute of the 3rd quarter. Now Pinion with the kickoff honors following the touchdown. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42. Great return.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive. And we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the 3rd quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
And not much there at all. Maybe a yard up to the 43.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on 1st down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on 2nd.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
Hey, alert, 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 alert.
Mayfield down. Throw right side going to be caught by Hardman. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. 17 yards on the play and a Buccaneer first down.
1st and 10 at the 40-yard line.
Point it right, 180. Regular. Hey, alert 33. Hurry, hurry. Real. Up.
Now Mayfield. As he throws there, incomplete. These two teams, they met up way back in the season opener. And it was the visiting Bucs who came away victorious, so they'll look to claim the season series with a win here in Tampa. Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. 3rd quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Straight ahead, it's Irvin. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
And Mayfield again with the interception, his 3rd. Picked off by A.J. Terrell. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December. Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
They begin the drive with Robinson. And he'll be taken down, losing yardage back at the 9-yard line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a 1st down. To the air, Penix. That's into the hands of Pitts, the tight end. And he's going to have a Falcons 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Penix. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Robinson. And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. The Falcon passing game looking good on this drive as they get the 1st down.
It's a gain of 17 yards.
Robinson up the middle. And he'll be tackled right on the midfield logo.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
A good position to be in here, 2nd and inches. Again, it's Robinson. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, this has been a long drive. In fact, it's eating up a good chunk of the 3rd quarter, which is precisely what you want when you're playing with the lead. You control the football, you control the clock, and impose your will on the defense.
Play fake, and they'll throw with Penix. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Jamel Dean. And the Buccaneers are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
180. Up. Hurry. Real. Pistol.
Mayfield to throw it. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hopefully they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a 1st down.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. And he is caught. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. And he's going to get a a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
At the 36-yard line.
From the gun, Mayfield. Now he's going to step up and run. And that one not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. Back now in Tampa. It's Buccaneer football, but they've got work to do. They find themselves behind here to start the fourth quarter. The offense on third down tonight, they're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. And he's going to have the first down yardage as he's down at about the 30-yard line. 61 yards rushing for him now with a couple of touchdown runs to boot. The drive continues as they search for a tying touchdown. Here's 1st and 10. Mayfield firing quickly. It's complete. That will go as a pickup of 7 on the 7th play of the drive.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 23-yard line.
From the 23, this is 2nd and 3.
Alert, 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 alert. Regular, up, 180.
Mayfield. Buccaneer touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown ground. And the Buccaneers are an extra point away from tying this game here in the fourth. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And an important one that is, as we are all tied now early in this fourth quarter.
Chase McLaughlin to kick off for the Buccaneers.
Boy, what a start to the week this has been. All tied fourth quarter as the kick's away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33.
1st and 10 at their own 33-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. Well, they just gave up the score to tie it. That's the bad news. The good news, plenty of time in this fourth quarter to try to grab that lead back. Looking deep here from Mooney. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Bucs are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line. Well, we say it often, Charles, but not all interceptions are created equally, and that is a big one here in a tie ball game in the fourth quarter.
And, Brandon, when games are this close, it usually comes down to the team making the fewest mistakes, and that was one of our mantras back at Tennessee. Coach Major used to say all the time, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. You've got to cut those down to give yourself an opportunity.
So even 2 yards there on the completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down.
It's 2nd and 8 at the 36-yard line.
King. 180. Hey, alert 33. Hey, alert. Real. Alert. Point it right. What's that?
Here's Mayfield. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
They'll try to pick this up on the ground with White. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And they will finally get him down, but not before he takes this to the Falcons' 25-yard line. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a 1st down.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first.
180. Hurry.
Mayfield looks to throw. And that is incomplete.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came up with a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap. Came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
A run up the middle with Irving. And able to get him down, but he does reach the 5. 81 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's going on.
Another carry for their leader and a good one. It's crunch time. They'll need him to continue to be productive in both the run and passing game in order for them to try and snatch victory.
180! Hurry!
On 1st and 10, here's Irving. And he's maybe going to get this back to the 4, but that's about all.
You know, when this offense gets down here near the end zone, they're going to turn to their bell cow. This guy's been a touchdown machine all year. Excellent job stopping him there on 1st down.
Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. Here now, 2nd and goal. Here's a handoff to Irving. And he'll get it down close to the goal line, but not quite in. Now, what's the thinking here? Because a touchdown would be nice, but you've ensured yourself a chance at 3 in the lead, so how worried are you about the 6?
You're not very worried about if you're confident in your kicker. And if you got a kicker who can put it through the post, you feel really good about trying to bleed that clock down. In an ideal scenario, your kicker puts it through the post as the clock hits zeros.
White.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here it is, 4th and inches. And they'll try it now with Irving. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. A touchdown run there from a yard out. And the Bucs have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th. Extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And they will take a 7-point lead.
Falcons 28. Chase McLaughlin, the kickoff for the Buccaneers.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And they'll opt not to return this, but since the ball did hit in the landing zone, this will come out to the 20. This is 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25.
Well, this game has certainly had no shortage of offense. Both teams have been revved up from the start. And here's yet another big play. Boy, both defenses have just got to be dragging out there because they've been run ragged throughout.
Back to throw. That's going to be caught by Pitts. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. Gonzalez now to have the extra point. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter.
That ties the game.
this one all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as it kicks away here. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Bucs take over first and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
They'll come up first and 10 here.
Regular. Alert. Hey, alert 33. Hey, alert. Stop.
Mayfield. Finding Hardman. And he is out of bounds. 25 seconds to go as he does pick up a first.
It's a gain of 18. Complete to Nicole Hardman. First and 10 at the 45-yard line.
And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down. 2-minute drills, they're tough enough, pressure-packed enough, and these elements makes it significantly tougher.
And you don't have the margin where you can say, okay, I can allow for certain things and maybe change up a little bit. Because it's a 2-minute situation, you've got to try and make the same plays you would make if the elements didn't exist.
180.
Mayfield to throw. Taking a deep shot here for Hardman. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
They geared up and took the deep shot downfield, but it turned out it wasn't one-on-one coverage. Extra defenders in the area, and that one winds up incomplete.
Here's Baker. Oh, look at this. It's intercepted. Clark Phillips has got it. And the Falcons will take over possession here up at the 44.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They can still get into field goal range, partner. They got to work quickly, though.
I agree with you totally. Find a way to get the ball downfield and out of bounds. In a perfect world, they know what hash they want to get to for their kicker, and they already know the distance that he feels comfortable. That'll dictate what they do on offense.
See if they can get in his range. Now Penix. Looking deep here for Mooney. And this is going to be intercepted. And he will be taken down, and that means we are headed to overtime. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
And here in overtime, a quick reminder, the game no longer ends following an offensive touchdown on the opening drive. Both sides will have the chance to possess the ball unless there's a defensive touchdown. In that case, the game will end right there.
Bradley Pinion set to kick off.
Conditions only going to get worse as we get back to football here to start this overtime. Oh, a good return up past the 30. Now, they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they get the ball first here in this overtime period. Remember, even if they score a touchdown, it's not over. There's always a chance to go and score a touchdown the other way, but they can certainly get a leg up with a solid drive here.
Well, I think after that run, the defense is getting back in the huddle and looking at each other and maybe starting to question their confidence a bit. They gave up a significant run, 6 yards, and now you're saying to yourself, how do we stop them, and do I have enough confidence to make a play?
The first throw in overtime for Mayfield now. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run.
And it's a real luxury when you have a guy who can turn a short throw into a solid gain at any moment. Once he caught that ball, he ID'd where the open grass was and got there in a hurry to pick up a new set of downs for his offense.
Hurry! Hurry! Hurry, hurry! Up!
Throwing, Mayfield. And this is a touchdown. That's not over yet, but they draw first blood here in this overtime. McLaughlin now to add the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now.
Makes the score Buccaneers 42, Falcons 35.
Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. First and 10. Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. We talk about defenders, specifically linebackers, keeping their eyes in the right spot. He had that eye down the entire time.
And you know that's not easily done because they throw a lot of misdirection at you. They try and fool you and get your eyes in the wrong place. But you're right about that one. He correctly figured that one out and made a really nice play.
And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play call and be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light is still on for him.
Brings up 2nd and 7 at the 27-yard line.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. They'll throw with Penix. There's Mooney with another catch. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie, if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2. And the Buccaneers go ahead and take another timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The Falcons are going to leave the offense out there. They'll go for 2.
The Falcons will line up for the 2-point conversion.
They'll try and throw with Penix. And this will be caught as they convert here for 2. So they elect to pass there on the 2-point try. Sometimes can prove risky there. It worked out.
Yeah, and I love how you bring up that it can prove risky, because if you get it intercepted and they return it, that's 2 points for the defense, but not on that play.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close